It's really great. Or really, if you teach classes, this is a great thing because you can refill it in class. You know, because sometimes if you put this much in front of a student, they just think that's a portion size, right? They're like, that's for one card.
Like card.
Exactly. So it's like, here you go. That's all the glue you need for this project. You know? That's all you're going to get, and then you can fill them afterwards. But yeah. But if you can trust yourself, if you can glue responsibly, then, you know, crack into the big one. All right. So for this, when I work on the media mat, anytime I have something gunky or sticky, I like to just work on the craft mat portion of it, right? Because this is just going to peel up and allow me to clean it up much, much easier. But if you get something on your glass, you could, there's nothing wrong with going in and using alcohol or hand sanitizer. So I'm just going to take some collage medium, place this down. You get what you get, you don't throw a fit. I would normally use a paper towel, but I don't have one this morning. I'll get one. Put another layer on, see where he needs to go. It's a new brush. I'd probably use that little bristle as one. He's going to sit there. Put some under his feet, perfect. Now we're going to paint on a top layer. Now when you use collage medium, I like brush strokes. If you don't like brush strokes, you can go with your fingers and kind of smooth it out. But I like brush strokes, you're going to see. Because that's what brush strokes do. All those little jaggedy bits. Alright. Did you just have that in your bag? That is awesome. Thank you. That is cool. That is crazy cool. That's really good. Thank you. Because now I'm going to create my baby wipe for my brush. I don't, you have baby wipe? No, I'm kidding.
Yes, you do.
Oh my gosh, no. That's fine. Just any kind of moisture will keep your brush from drying out. I'll get one later. All right. Wow. See? That's just, oh, there you go. That's a thing. That's all right. All right, so here I'm just going to spray that with water. Cool thing just to note, if you are a maker or again, people are intimidated by mixed media, if you clean it up while it's wet, it's seconds. If you let everything dry, that's when you're scraping and eroding and doing all of those things. So water-based mediums, clean them up.
Is that just a bar towel that you use?
Yeah, this is just a flour sack towel that I buy at Walmart because it doesn't have any lint on it. So it's just great. You buy them like in a 4 or 5 pack. Like restaurant towels you can get. Just something people say like a cloth diaper. Anything that's just not going to put lint on your projects. It'll look like a chia pet if you use a terry cloth towel. You know. But maybe that's a new texture. Who knows? So collage medium could air dry, right? So just know what I'm showing you has nothing to do with heat. The heat is only speeding up the drying time, okay? But we can just let this air dry if we want. So if you're working on several, go for it. And it just needs to be dry to the touch. It just needs to be that when you touch it, it's not wet, okay? But this is not cured, but I can tell that it's completely dry. So let me take this, cut this off. All right, there we go. Instant collage with some bonus brush pens. Okay, so let's talk about some colors. I know that we use this color. High spruce. Yeah, that's a good one. We can use a little brown, but I'll mix it up. I'll use some different colors.
So this is the new distress.
We're going to work with some oxides. Yeah, so we're just going to work with oxide sprays, and I'll talk a little bit about it when I go to spray this on. I just want to make sure this is mixed up. Oh, I have a paper towel. Way easier. So easier with a paper towel, guys, because you just need to spray, put it around the nozzle, shake it up. There was a little confusion in class yesterday when I said wrap the towel around the top and shake it. Some people actually remove the sprayer to do that. No,
oh my God.
See? Consider that a win. Right. I consider that a win.
We got some really nice paper towels for collage.
Well, I did say remove the top, but I meant this. Some people meant like unscrew the whole sprayer, put the paper towel, and they just started shaking it. And they're like, this is not keeping it in. I'm like, no. So now I'll just say the clear top. That's my bad.
The lid.
See? The lid. You know, sometimes you just, people take it a little bit more literal than you expect as a teacher, and that's, wow, thank you. Sometimes you don't know. They were. Hey, listen. I have to say, my students yesterday, they rocked. It was such it was just such an awesome class. It was. Like
so
everyone was just
attentive, and
you
you
were just
didn't go ahead of him either.
No,
We waited.
and it's tough to do that in the morning. Sometimes people, you know, you're not all dialed in. You know, I'm not. Yeah. All right. So when we're working with this, I'm just going to do just oxide sprays just to show you what this is going to do on there. So I'm just going to take some color. I'm just going to add some on there. Now remember, when it comes to working with this, that as you go in and add color, one color is going to cover the next. So don't worry when you're adding colors to kind of muck it up a little bit, because you don't know what's going to happen with the layers underneath. All right, so far we've got, well, a lot on there. This really, in a perfect environment, go in with other paper, right? If you do other classes, it's a good idea to kind of pick this up, set it aside, go in with another piece of cardstock. You know, maybe you're just going to take a tag. Right. If you want your inks to blend right away on any paper, mist it first. Then when you go and do a drag, it's going to act as a watercolor wash. If you go in with dry paper, it's going to print. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, so if I went dry paper and did that, it's going to have this harsh line. This is just going to allow me now to create more of a fluid wash of color. And backgrounds are good because, well, they're backgrounds. You never really know what you're going to get. But that's another nice thing that, I mean, I really love working on a media mat, because I love the fact that the glass is just completely slick, right? It doesn't have any of that porous nature. So this is really good for gluing and sticky messes and things like that. But when it comes to having inks move, man, glass is, in my opinion, it's just the way.
Are you thinking of doing it in white?
Not in white, just because I found, because Tonic does have a white glass mat. So if you want that, you can get it now. Tonic has, it's not a media mat, but it's a glass cutting mat in white. I just found that as much as I work, this is more restful to the eye, and this also, believe it or not, makes your colors pop out more than a white surface, especially when you keep working and working. And if you're doing a lot of detail work and you're staring at this, just to me, I found that it was much more relaxing. So that's why I said, oh hey, I wanted to go in with black. So now we got this guy. Now this could dry, this could air dry. You can also speed it up. So again, heat is not a factor for the process. But what's happening is you can see that even though we were spraying all of that muck, as it starts to soak in, you can see those colors start to kind of do their thing. You can see where there was more green or more blue or more brown. So it's very, very interesting when it comes to working with this. Now our paper here, if we want to get some of that color off, we want to get this off before it dries completely. Okay, because as collage medium, because if you don't, this is going to take on some color like our background. Okay, makes sense? So if I want some of this to kind of come off here before I totally dry this, I'm just going to want to wipe some of that off. Okay. Now let's go in.
That's cool. So you don't have to mask the image and go to all that effort.
No, but that is because we use collage medium, right? So once collage medium is over something, it does technically seal it. But this one is different than this one because this was days ago. This, we just did it right now. So as this ink dries, whether it dries by air or heat, you're going to see that there's going to be some separation. Not full, but some separation that goes under the mediums, which I really love. Because this creates just, I think, such a cool background. So now I'm just going to go in with the towel. I'm just going to start to reveal some of the stuff under there. Okay? And you'll see that as I lift this, a lot of that dye is actually under the surface. So really all I'm wiping off is kind of that oxidized layer, and all that color under there is the dye that's separating in the spray. Now the nice thing about working with this is you don't have to just settle, right? We can go in and we can add different types of colorants. If we wanted to add, let's just take a little purple, because hey, who doesn't want purple and green? Okay. We can add some ink in there, and that ink is going to mix in with some of that oxide. It's not going to quite oxidize, but it is going to allow us to add that tone, that tint. And the reason we're able to work with this layer is because our collage medium is not cured. So it's kind of like you said, it's that in between. It's the fact that I don't have to mask anything, but I'm still getting that playtime of putting color on and lifting color off before it all absorbs. Because if this didn't have collage medium and you were spraying all of those inks, it would look like paintball. Wherever you sprayed, like it would just go right into the paper, right? It wouldn't give us that playtime. So it's just something that I discovered, actually. It wasn't something, I can't say that I designed it that way, because I didn't. It was just when I was working with the sprays, I knew that, you know, when you put it on paper, it goes in there. But over a collage, I wanted a little bit more movement. And I'm really pleased at just kind of that overall effect. And it's still going to be reactive with water, so we can still go in and add some of that water. You'll see it break apart a little bit more. But the more color you add over the top of it, the more it's going to stain through that paper. This is a cool background. I love that. Because what I like about oxide sprays as well is it does provide a little bit more softness, if you will, right? Because let's face it, when you have dyes, that'd be this one. The background of this one is dye with a little bit of oxide spray. Completely different effect. So you kind of have to play around.
And the water doesn't bring the collage medium down, like it's still sticky then, so it doesn't fall, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because it's a water-based, waterproof. So once it was dry to the touch, water can't clean it off.
Make it
No, it's done. Yeah, it's very cool. I love that back. And I would still stamp on that. I could do another collage layer if I wanted to. See, look at that. Look at that. Look at that cleanup. I have not.